So basically, I have found means some basic security issues. So whenever you adding a form, you must add validation to your forms. Otherwise, there might be issue with your security. So I will show you where exactly the security issue is. Where we have this select business now, there is a security issue. So if I do inspect element, okay, and right now for this particular business, he has two businesses. One is this one, so I will just inspect this one. So ID is 3, value is 3, and for this one the value is 4. Okay, so this one is 3 and this one is 4. Okay, this business is not registered with the business ID 5, but he can do one thing, like he will do inspect element, and then this value can be changed, so it might be 5. Okay, and then for this also I will change, for example, so value will be 6. So we know in database he don't have access to 5 and 6 business ID. Still, if we change this one, then he can get access to this business ID 6, means for this particular business. So although we will have roles and permission, but the data which will be visible to all the business users, that will be shown. So this is a security issue. So for this thing, we'll have to add the server side validation. So whenever you are adding a form in wherever in your website, you must add server side validation. So we'll add server side validation when this we are changing this business. So I will go to this livewire business and then basically select here. Whenever we are changing and updating business ID before this session, we'll have to check if particular user has that particular access for that business or not. Okay, so for that reason we will get the businesses for that particular user. Okay, so dollar businesses equal to, so basically auth user and then basically his businesses. Let me check this. So businesses, I will make it to array, then save. Let's check this one. Okay, auth not found, so we'll add use auth. So one is this 1, 3 and 4. Okay, so then basically we'll have to check this one. This particular business exists or not. So what are the selected business? Okay, so this business ID exists in that particular case or not. Okay, so one thing is, it's a very basic thing, we can loop through for each and see that particular business ID exists or not. So we'll just loop through this one. So for each, so this businesses as dollar business, and then we'll check this if dollar business, then ID equal to this ID, if it matches, dollar exists equal to false by default, and we'll just make it true if a relation exists. Okay, then basically here if relation exists, then this will be same as it is, and we'll add else, and we will add that about message. So about 403 I think unauthorized is 401. Let's see, I will just add this one. refresh, change business. So 3 is done, 4 is done. Here is no issue. If I want to change this one to something like 5, and basically 6. Okay, now we'll see. Okay, 403 unauthorized. Then unauthorized, unauthorized. Okay, so this is properly working fine. So if user manually changes it, he will not be able to change it. He must do that this way. So this one is done. So other issue is not that major, but still that's a issue. Suppose someone goes to choose this plan, add business details, then go to next, then add other details and all these things. Okay, we have server side validation for this. So if we go this particular page, so this is a particular business register. Here we have server side validation for business. Okay, for this valid business or not. And then basically we have this for this when submit that, we have this user checking. Okay, but issue is when I am submitting this next step, so third step will go into third step, we have this validate business, but at last step on submit we don't have that validation. So suppose if user do same thing while inspecting that particular thing and going to change that data into that particular business details, so it can change that data. So this data can be changed. This automotive and all these things, we don't have an issue. Business name, we don't have an issue, but if it make blank, then there will be the issue. It will actually not means there is no much security threat, but still we should add that particular validation into this one. So we can do one thing. After submitting this step 3 and 4, we can do again that business validation, and that is done. Okay, so here is only 2 lines, so I have just copy pasted it, repeated, but means basically for this we can create a separate function and add that, but sometimes I prefer means adding 1-2 line, that doesn't require that much efforts. So right now we can do this, or if you want to strictly add some function or something, you can just add one function, public function validate. This is a good practice actually, business. So validate business. So whenever it means right now you are doing it, you will do it next time also, but if you want to hand over this project to some other team or something, some other developer, so he might made a mistake, he might add validation, means he might change validation once and he might forget to update at second place. So this is an issue. So we can do one thing, validate business function can be separated, and we can just add this here, and we just add this particular function, this, then validate business, and same function can be used here. So if in future there are multiple fields needs to be added, so that can be added here. So this is a good practice, so you should follow that. So let me check if it's working or not, otherwise there might be some issue. This industry chemical, next, paste, add password, submit. Yeah, that's working fine. So there is no issue. So I will just check if that particular business is registered or not. So bus chemical registered, user has been registered, 12th user, and business is 7th. Business user I will check. So 12, 7, it's also added. So this is working fine. So there's 2 issues. So basically whenever you're adding form, you must add client side validation, means you must add server side validation, client side validation to improve your UI and all these things, means user interactivity. So that's it for this video.